Hi, Brian.
Hi. Lovely to see you. Lovely to be here.
Thank you so much
You're
for flying here.
all the way from a far distance, Los Angeles, California. Another world compared to the beauty of Portland.
Different, right?
Mildly.
Yeah.
To put it mildly.
Yeah.
I'm breathing. I got some trees in me.
Yeah.
It's good for the lungs, Much needed.
And I think we were talking offline about how we can both breathe better when we're away from our family, right?
Oh, yeah. So much better. Lots of quality breathing in that regard.
So I have been thinking about how to introduce this conversation because Brian and I go back almost 2 decades.
We've realized it was 2010.
Yes.
Which is a long time ago. That's funny.
Yes, it's good timing. Yes, 2010. And I was introduced to you through a online magazine. I wouldn't even call it a magazine platform that I was doing interviews on. Yeah, that's how we met. I was introduced by that particular editor. I was living in San Francisco at the time.
Yeah.
And Brian connected me with someone I probably would not have access to otherwise. We just figured out it was Tabitha
Stevens, yes. The wonderful Tabitha.
And that experience pulled me further into a world that many people have strong opinions about, but very few understand from the inside. So Brian and I have spent time together in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
At the AVN Awards.
Yeah.
Immersed in the adult industry. I was an exhibitor at the time. And I have spoken openly on previous episodes about my proximity to that world, including the fact that I used to be a stripper and a model. And being in that industry shaped how I understand people, identity, and the way we relate to being seen, desired, and understood. And so Brian has spent years inside that world from a very different vantage point, building a company within it, navigating it, and seeing how it actually works from behind the scenes. So this is not a conversation about the adult industry in a way that people might expect. It is about what the world reveals about people, power, identity, and the difference between being seen and actually being known.
Yeah. Perception versus reality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the difference between LA and Portland.
Yeah, very different.
So let's start at the beginning, shall we?
Please.
Okay. How did you first get into the entertainment industry?
So I was a senior in high school. I was 17. It was January of 1993. And I love sports. And I wasn't good enough to play on the basketball team, but I wanted to be around it. So I wound up as an assistant coach for one of the teams at my high school. And we're trucking through the season, and we had a game that sort of went sideways. And we had some issues with the referees, and then I had an issue with the referee, and then I got called into the principal's office, and I was no longer allowed to coach anymore. So
was it a physical altercation?
No, it was a verbal. It was a
Okay.
verbal.
Okay.
But it was one of those experiences where when a basketball game changes face or any sporting event, and a referee is the person that decides it's you go on in life and you hear people complain about officiating. You go, that's cute. Let me tell you my story. So that happened. And then all of a sudden I've had some free time on my hands, and I just started.
Wait, were you still in you weren't still in high school?
Yeah, I was a senior.
Okay.
So again, not good enough to play,
Okay.
but wanted to be around and could be like an assistant coach for, I think it was the Sofrosh team.
Okay.
So so that ended abruptly, and I was like, well, and I'll never know where exactly it came from, but I knew I wanted to be in the music industry. It was just like a fascination. And I knew about internships, and no one, I discovered it at some point. And
This
so
is 1992?
93,
93.
just the end of 92.
Okay.
And so I called record labels and they wouldn't take kids out of high school. And then finally I called one label called Deaf American Recordings. And the person who answered the phone was the last hiring. And she would cover for the receptionist when the receptionist went to lunch. I called during the lunch hour and she literally said, just come intern for me. And I was like, holy shit, okay. And I went down there. I remember I put on a shirt and a tie and drove down to Burbank, California from Newbury Park and met with the person there. And within 2 seconds, the person who I met with said, you're not going to have to wear a shirt and tie again. Don't worry. Handed me a ton of CDs. And then I met with the PR department, and 3 days a week I was interning at Deaf American in the publicity department from February until right before I left for college in August.
Back in the day when you could actually make a phone call and like get interviewed and hired on the spot.
On the spot. Now, there were a lot of calls that were like, no, thank you, sorry. Some guy yelled at me one night. Like, there was crazy calls before that one happened. And to be, the person that hired me is still one of my closest friends. And the people that I worked with and was around and worked for are still mentors and people I see. I get texts from one of them all the time.
Like who?
Oh,
Can you name names?
Oh my! But these are people in the music industry. So there's like the Dadia brothers, right? Mark was the general manager of Deaf American, and his brother Kenny was, working there. And Kenny sends me texts, and Mark manages the Black Crows right now, and the Counting Crows, and Three Doors Down, and he's been in management for a long time, and just these people. My mentor was Heidi Ellen Robinson, who's still a publicist and, was Rick Rubin's publicist or still is, and Slayer and Danzig and, all the Pixies, and just the people you don't know are still people that I'm still close with and talk to. And, we'll see their names pop up. Or we had a reunion years ago of all the people that had worked at both Deaf American and then it became American Recordings. And so it was a label started by Rick Rubin. And
wow.
I hadn't really spent much time with him, but
okay.
I had met him and whatnot. He would be in the office every now and then. I mean, he was still making and producing the biggest albums you've ever heard, and he was full throttle in that, as well as, having a record label. So 3 days a week, I would finish school and drive down to Burbank and stuff press kits and meet bands and, help with press clippings, and just did all the quote grunt work that was asked of me. Back in the day when it was paper, back in the day when it was little to do with the internet.
CDs.
I worked there. The head of A&R was a guy named Mark Geiger, who's a very successful person in the music industry. And he handed me this huge pamphlet, like this article, whatever. And he literally goes, "This is the internet, read this." And it was just this massive story about what the internet was, is, and going to be. And, he went on to form a company called Artist Direct, which was at one point one of the bigger companies in the music industry that was this blend of internet and record label. So that's how it started. Went away to college, came back. I wound up working on the Lollapalooza tour as an assistant. Got another internship at Warner Brothers Records. Got an assistant job there. Moved over to Reprise Records to be the West Coast tour and regional publicist. And then I got the phone call in the beginning of 1999. And I had sort of seen this whole Napster thing take place and felt like my job wasn't going to exist in a matter of years.
Okay.
And I was, sure enough, I did an interview and was offered the head of PR and marketing. I think I literally had a vice president title at 23 for Vivid Entertainment Group, for Vivid Video.
No way.
For the largest adult film company in the world.
Did you know that was an industry that you're interested in?
No, but I knew I needed to pivot.
Okay.
I felt it was like a no-brainer.
And you knew porn wasn't going to go anywhere.
I mean, I really didn't. I really knew like, hey, this, why not? I've always lived by a why not mentality. And at the time, like I said, you just felt in the music industry there was a disturbance and things were going to change dramatically.
Yeah, Metallica was pissed.
Yeah, and you saw, the craziest thing was that you did have people take two sides, for and against.
Yeah.
And really, there was only one side. It was against, but, the public was just so angry at the cost of compact discs.
Yeah.
And why a CD cost so much and the breakdown and who was making all the money. And
That's hilarious.
And the record industry, historically is an industry that's not of the norm. Same with the adult film industry.
Yep.
They're not normal industries, and I'm not normal either. So it felt pretty good to me.
What's your favorite kind of music?
Oh, I've listened to everything. I've been to over 900 concerts in my life.
Have you really?
Yeah, and I keep track of them too.
900?
I'm Virgo like that. Yeah.
Do you keep all of the ticket stubs?
I have most. That's the sad part of nowadays is that I don't, because your
You
ticket
buy it
stubs.
online.
Yeah, it's on your phone. Like
Yeah.
it's depressing. Like
Yeah.
I have lots of frames of stubs and all that stuff. So absolutely. Gosh, favorite. I mean, I've listened to everything. I've worked with everything. So like I've seen everything musically. So, if you're gonna break me down, I'm a rock guy. Certainly,
Okay.
I'm a metal kid.
Okay.
And then like I will always love a great pop song. I will always love a great pop song. I will absolutely right now in this moment tell you Olivia Rodrigo is unbelievable.
She is.
She's unbelievable. So much talent, so creative, so much great writing. So it's just, I just love so much music. And, I can be Gen X-y and curmudgeon-y on like my music's better than yours kind of thing.
Yeah, you kind of missed the boat on rock, though.
No, I got yes and no.
You were on the tail end.
So I missed the Sunset Strip, certainly, but I got the alt, I saw Nirvana. Like I saw him at the Forum in December of 93, 4 months before his passing, So it's like I saw some pretty cool stuff. I saw the Smashing Pumpkins in a club.
Yeah, but you saw, like, I don't consider that rock, I guess.
Oh, I do.
I consider it grunge.
Yeah, but I mean it's a genre. I mean
Sure.
rock to me is a whole big thing. But I mean
Okay.
I saw
When you say rock, sorry, I'm thinking of like Van Halen.
Oh, certainly. And I saw and got to spend
Metallica.
time with them. Metallica, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Scorpions, like,
Yes.
all that. I could go on and on. So, but I mean, but I grew up as an 80s kid. You grew up with New Wave.
Yeah.
You discovered metal.
Yep.
The fringe stuff happened at sort of the latter end of the
I
80s
was just
where
listening to Pet Shop Boys last night. By the
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
I saw Incredible Live. Like,
Did you see them live?
Yeah, but I saw them much later. I didn't see them. Saw them in the 90s and 2000s, certainly.
Still.
Yeah, no. So
Still
much fun.
relevant. Yeah.
Very, very.
Yeah.
I think most of the bands you'll name I'll probably have seen at some point.
Wow.
So, I was at shows 5-6 nights a week while working in the music industry. It's
In
what
LA.
you did. Yeah. It's what you did. You took out the LA Weekly, you picked out the shows, you put it in your calendar, and you were off and running.
Yeah.
It was great. So,
Did you get to see them all for free?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
was the perk.
That's so fucking cool.
Now, I wasn't making much money.
No, of course you weren't.
Really, like you think about, I mean,
That was the trade-off.
yeah, that was a trade-off. You
Yeah.
you got CDs and shows for free,
Yeah.
a lot of them,
Yeah.
and
So
now
now
I
you're
lived off of credit cards, and I got very lucky. My best friend in high school bought a house in the Valley, and I moved in, and he charged me very little rent. So I had a beat up car at first, and then, original like Toyota Tercels, and just lived that sort of, lifestyle.
Gen
Shows
X.
all night,
Gen X lifestyle.
go run around, play sports, stay in shape. Discovered kickboxing in like 96, 97.
Oh, you're a kickboxer.
Yeah, that was fun. Not now. These hips ain't kicking anything. But it was you
I
ran
love
around. You know,
kickboxing.
we live in this nostalgia period right now. Everyone loves nostalgia. Loves
Yes.
the 80s, loves
Did
the
you see
90s.
that Maxell is coming out or came out with a Bluetooth tape cassette
Oh wow.
recorder?
I'm not surprised.
I fucking want it
Yeah.
because
Yeah, of course.
it's like having a Walkman all
Yeah.
over again.
Yeah. I mean, I
And
would.
I still have tapes. Do you still have tapes?
I still have them. They're stored away.
I
Yeah.
don't have a ton, but I have.
What I would do is I would be stoked, like when I got a single, a CD single of an artist before anyone else.
Yes.
I would play it on a Saturday morning while washing my car at my like parents' house, like on a CD boombox,
Yep.
and feel really special because I
I
had
bet.
this single that no one else had.
You had access.
Yeah, yeah. There are a lot of albums that I heard, one of the first, and be like, my favorite is Missy Elliott because I was working at Elektra. We're all given the the album before it came out, and I listened to it. I think it was a cassette. And I went to my boss at the time. I'm like, is this going to be big? Is this? And she's like, what's wrong with you? It's going to be massive. Shit. Because there was nothing like it. There's some artists you hear, some albums.
And they're so different.
You might listen to Missy's first album now and go, okay, whatever. But at the time,
It was so different.
There's
no
nothing,
one
nothing.
sounded like her.
and it was a fun run. Like she did a taping of All That, the show on Nickelodeon.
Uh-huh.
And I wound up covering it for the team, and everyone's was in awe, still in awe of her because she's so special. But it was fun. It was fun doing, hearing things before anyone else.
Has there been anyone that you met in the music industry that has been super memorable for you?
I mean, one of my first ones, this is so off the rails, off the kilter. I was eating lunch in the middle. I'm 17. I'm a senior in high school, and one of my other best friends in high school was a huge industrial music fan. So this one's way off the radar here. But this guy sits down next to me and starts talking to me, like asking me questions and this and that. And I'm like, oh, hey. And finally I go, oh, I'm Brian. He goes, oh, I'm Ogre. And it was Ogre from Skinny Puppy, which was at its time, like a massive industrial band from Vancouver. And we talked for like a half hour. But it was like him asking me questions. I'll never forget. I was just in shock. So then when I went home and called Kevin, I'm like, you're not going to believe.
Who I just
But over the years, like the bands that we've talked about, bands I've worked with, they've all touched me in one way, shape, or form. Like I've been... and then over the years, I worked the Grammy Awards. So I've got to spend time. I worked the Grammy Awards for like 15 years.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. It's not really something I would, I was escorting talent to the media and whatnot. So the liaison between the winners and artists who perform and the media rooms and whatnot, we just make sure they know where they're going because it's a huge, huge space, huge spectacle. So I've had a lot of great stories, a lot of incredible meetings, the biggest, unbelievable. So yeah, those people have always touched me in some way, shape, or form. I think of someone like Lars Ulrich, who remembers every single person he's ever met.
I met Lars.
And to me, I'm the guy that left Elektra for the adult industry. And I'm not going to do his accent. I love doing it, but
I met him.
Yeah, he's special.
He came into the Gold Club in San Francisco when I worked there.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
His whole band was at a table.
That's amazing. That's a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. I'm dating myself.
That's a long time ago.
That was probably right after 2000. Maybe one. When was 9/11? Was that one?
Yeah.
So it was before that.
Yeah.
It was probably 2000.
Yeah, no, I mean, I always say that's the greatest band in the world.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because they're four individuals who are so down to earth. They're a band and management company that have always looked after their fans. They treat, you'd be surprised how many bands don't understand the fan aspect.
I think Billie
their
Eilish
career.
does.
A lot of them do now, but over the years, I've definitely worked with some who
don't appreciate them.
And
Taylor Swift does.
Yeah, no. But people have had to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the bands everyone's learned from is Metallica.
They set the pace.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so now you're at Vivid.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm the publicist
Different
at
world.
Vivid. Yes and no. I mean, it was rock star, porn star. It was just like
What's the difference between rock stars and porn stars? Tell
nothing,
us.
nothing,
Nothing?
nothing.
Really?
No, because at the time, and this might seem foreign to some, but I was working with some of the most famous adult film stars in the world.
Yeah.
You would walk in a room with them and the whole room would stop.
Yeah.
You know, you would do media and you would do events and these, these were as famous.
Yeah.
You have to remember it this way. At the time, if you lived in middle America and you turned on your TV, you would have your channels,
Yeah.
but you'd also have adult channels.
Yep.
But to most people, it was a blend. The person on this channel can be just as famous as the person on that channel, and neither of which anyone would ever meet. Right? You wouldn't meet an actor or actress. You wouldn't meet an adult film star.
Yep.
So the fame aspect was the same.
Yep.
So the women that I worked with, they were just as famous as anyone else on your television set.
Mm-hmm.
And so, no, it wasn't different. And that was the beauty of Stephen Hirsch and hiring me and letting me just go. He was just like, do what you do. You've got all this experience. with A-list musicians and with, bringing musicians up. This is exactly what I want for the company and for the movies and for the talent that are represented.
So you really helped build it.
I'm not going to go that far, but I mean, it was fun to be a part of it. It was fun to be.
You contributed.
Yeah, contributor I'll take.
You contributed to the growth.
It was great because the person that.
Because I'm sure Vivid was not Vivid when you first met.
Well, it was established. It was definitely
established.
It was established brand, and the person before me did an incredible job, and he had solidified the deal to put Janine on the cover of the Blink 182 album. I then was brought in, and I did the campaign. So the media. She was booked in, she's in the music video. We did like the K-Rock Weenie Roast. We did Howard
K-Rock.
Stern. Yeah. We did Howard Stern. Like
You met Howard Stern?
Yeah. Tabitha was on Howard. We booked her on. I've booked a few clients over the years.
Okay.
So we've met. I'm not going to say, I still am close and talk to the producers and whatnot.
Okay.
But no, it was a whirlwind. It was events and media, Playboy Mansion events in Vegas, obviously AVN. We did everything. Music videos. It was negotiations. It was, interviews, everything. It wasn't any different than when I worked with the band.
Okay.
It was just continuous. It was it was all year. It wasn't broken down into quarters,
Yeah, it's nonstop throttle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was, his motto was the only days off are the ones that UPS is closed, So it kept going. In the music industry at the time, December you start to shut down.
Yeah.
So, but in the adult industry, December you actually ramp up because your biggest show, the AVN Expo, is in
soon.
January.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was 18 months. It was wild. It was everything. It was ups and downs. It was like, at this point in my life, like reliving a lot of it, and it was X amount of years ago, 27 years ago.
Yeah. Is that when you started your company? Right after that?
2001.
Okay.
Yeah, it ended there. And I actually came to Portland, of all things, in the fall of 2000 and just sort of hung out for like a few days and got my bearings. And then I did a couple interviews, but then I realized it made most sense to just start my own thing. People were calling me to represent them. And I was like, okay. And I had a few mentors who were publicists who had firms that I'm like, how do I do this? And they gave me the ABCs of starting a PR firm. And then I was off and running, January 1st, 2001.
No way.
Yeah, that was it.
Huh. Okay, that was a lot. Let me look down at my questions because I have a gazillion of them.
Yeah,
for
let's
you.
do this. I just went on a rant. Huh?
No, I love it because you're giving us a feel. And plus, I was so inspired by all of the things that you've done because I had no idea. Like, there's so many questions and so many ways I could have taken that.
Sure.
Maybe I'll ask you offline.
Okay.
Because otherwise, the podcast will be
No, we don't want to bore
5
people.
hours.
We Can't have that.
No, they won't be bored. I just mean it'll be super long.
Yeah.
There's so much I could ask. Okay. Okay, so what did you think the industry was going to be like?
I had no expectations. I knew people in it. So it wasn't like I came in completely blind.
Okay.
I mean, funny enough, the owner, Stephen Hirsch, his brother was a very good friend of mine at the time.
Okay.
So I had not fully been immersed, but I was aware. And so it wasn't, it wasn't anything to where I came in blind.
And you were young, so was your family supportive of you?
Oh, I mean, it was the classic, like I had called my mom, my brother, and said, hey, I got a new job. And my mom will deny it to this day, but she freaked out at first. And she's like, no, I didn't. I'm like, yeah, you did. You freaked out. It was really funny when I made that phone call. But my circle of friends were all supportive because that's who I ran it by. Hey, what do you think? And you always have that group around you that you run shit by. And I was like, I think I'm going to do this. Give me your first response. Awesome. Great. Yes. Go for it. You're on it. Blah, blah, blah. So I got the support I needed.
Okay.
But to finish that real quick, no expectations. And I've always been a no expectation type of person. So I didn't go in with I had none whatsoever. I just knew I had a job. I was getting paid more money and I was in control. So it was like I had to step up.
Got it. Okay. What has kept you interested in working in this industry?
I mean, not as much the industry, but being a publicist, it's all about the little victories. So it's all about those media hits that your clients are happy about. Industry aside, it's more just I love what I do. And I always say if I can't enjoy the little things, I'm out. So it's those little victories, and there's big victories too, but when a client's happy, I'm happy. When a client's not, I got to deal with it. But it's little victories in PR that keep me going. So
I think it's also relationships for you too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It does. It keeps you going. But I've always been a fan of you have to enjoy the little things. Whatever you do, you have to.
Okay. Where am I going to go with this? Okay.
Jump into it. I can't wait. I love it. I have no expectations here, that's for sure.
That's good.
I'm ready for whatever you throw at me.
Okay. What did you learn early on that most people on the outside do not understand?
That it's a business, first and foremost. But also,
I love that you're saying that.
Everyone in the industry, and I just saw a client say this, and it still rings true because this client is fairly new to the industry, but has had successes in other industries and literally said, everyone here is looking to put food on the table, is looking to support their families, support whomever's in their life.
Yep.
People come in and treat this like a business. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, you're not going to last very long. You're not. I don't care who you are.
Well, how else would you treat it?
Well,
give us an idea.
An idea is I'm a sexual deviant and I just want to get paid to have sex and I don't care about anything else. The same way that someone comes in the music industry and says, I'm a guitarist and I just want to play in front of 1 million fans and I don't care about anything else. Well, that usually doesn't go well if you, quote, don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
You have to have so many times people will come into whatever industry, forget adult, and be like, I know what I know, or I don't need to know everything, or I don't want to learn. And you're just, I can't. Stop. Go away. Go be a barista. I don't care what industry it is. I think the thing I'm stressing here is that it is no different than any other industry. We sell sex for a living.
Yes.
Take it or leave it. The people that come to work every day, no pun intended, do so to do their job, do it to the best of their ability, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. So you do have people that come in and think it's just free-nilly and just wild, and they don't have to worry about it. They can just act how they act, and that's not going to cut it. It doesn't cut it in any industry, and the adult industry is no different.
Yeah. Okay. What is something that is true about it that people do not want to admit?
What is something true about the adult, like from the inside or the outside?
Either. What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Um, I mean, the first thought I have is that it's hard work.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It is.
so I think people don't either.
It's not just fun and games.
Yeah, and I think people from both sides might think it is, but it's not. And you know, the industry has gotten more savvy, and there's more people coming into it with degrees or coming into it with experience, or they come into it with a mindset versus just trying, you know, dipping their toe. So like, for lack of a better term, the industry is as constant because it was a family business for what it was. You know, people started this. It was family run. It was, you know, mom and pop. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so now you've got tech people. You've got people from all walks of life that see opportunity and see it as a business. You have your 5% of the stories that you read about horrible human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Every industry has 5% of people who are horrible
At
human
least.
beings. I like to stress that. You'll notice I have that sort of thing because people want to think, oh, it's adult, it's different. It's not.
No.
But it's hard work. And either people have a work ethic or they don't. It's really that simple. And I'm sometimes I see people and I'm like, oh, they're not going to last. You know, they're not taking this seriously, or, you know, they're not emotionally and physically and mentally invested in what they're doing.
How would you describe the adult industry world to someone who has never been exposed to it?
So, I mean, it's a business of creating a product.
So you
To
would
an
call it a
audience.
product.
Yeah, I would call it a product.
Okay. We're going to get into that, but
Okay. But for the most part, you're creating a product for the entertainment of others. I'll go a step further.
okay.
Everything that exists in some capacity that is mentally stimulating is that does something to your brain is a form of a drug, right?
Yep.
It acts as a drug. Music, film, adult, honest video games, so on and so forth. So this is a product to stimulate said part of your brain for the enjoyment that whatever that is for.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for lack of a better term, it is a product. And so, you know, in the same way you buy groceries, same way you have insurance, in the same way you have a real estate agent who finds you a house, in the same way is someone that creates adult film for you to enjoy.
You've worked across music, entertainment, and adult industries at such a high level, including Warner Brothers. You mentioned that.
Yeah.
Lollapalooza
Yep.
and Vivid. What do all those spaces actually have in common from the inside?
Incredible humans that have changed the game in some capacity. People that I've been honored to spend time with and learn from, who have come from wherever they've come from, who've had some sort of idea and created a space, a product, an idea to change the world.
Super creative.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, dealing with entertainment, you're dealing with creativity. So you're around people that you just go, I wish I could do that. I wish I would love to do that. Or I cannot imagine doing what you do. You know, I cannot imagine being James Hetfield on a stage in front of 100,000 people, leading them in song, speaking to them in one voice. It's totally incredible. It's unbelievable. And when you get to witness it to the capacity I have, yeah, I pinch myself. So yeah, these places house and have hired and have been created by unbelievable people.
Okay, we'll skip that. Moving on. You've worked with highly visible people, including celebrities, performers, and public figures. What have you learned about the difference between a public identity and a private one?
Facades, perception, reality. You know, you act a certain way in public, you act a certain way in private.
Okay. So you
But
feel like there is definitely a distinct difference?
yeah, it depends on the person.
Yeah.
You know, some people are the same whether they're public or private. Some people are not. Totally dependent on the individual. But you know, when you've made the choice as to be in the spotlight, you have to understand the pros and cons. And some people do, and some people don't. And we see it. We see the people that can handle it every day on the TMZs of the world, and we see the people who can't handle it. So, what fame does is it shines a really bright light on the individual, and it unmasks everything about them. So, you know, how they are in public and private might be the same based on their actions.
Kind of like winning the lottery.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, fame can be that. But yeah, and it can bring its positives and negatives to what you do with said lottery winnings.
Well, I feel like it just exemplifies. No, it doesn't exemplify. It magnifies. That's the word I'm looking
Yeah.
for. It magnifies who the person is.
Totally magnifies it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It puts a mirror or a spotlight on them.
All that. So yeah, I've been
The
a witness.
good and the bad. The
I've
stuff
been a
that-
witness.
Yeah,
I've
I'm
been
sure
a first-hand
you.
witness
I'm sure you have.
to all of that.
What have you learned about the difference between a public identity and a private one?
I mean, me personally, I enjoy, you know, I understand the enjoyment of walking around and not being noticed, you know, and some people have given that up in their lives,
Yeah.
you know,
Yes, they
and
have.
it's a lot to give up. And once you do, you can't have it back. And there's an old saying, like, one of the worst things outside of illness is fame and no money. So you can be really famous and not have money. There's plenty of people like that. And that's a really harsh reality to a lot of people. And I've been a witness to that too. And it's hard. It's really hard. So, you know, being a witness to these things, you know, for me, getting on a plane, coming up here, get on a plane, go home, like, I appreciate the simplicities, you know. But I also have a bit of a job security in the aspect of if I do my job right and I do it to the best of my ability, you know, people see fame and are always going to want it because it's attractive. Fame is very attractive and it allures and it has qualities that are pretty incredible. So, you know, there's a catch to it.
Mm-hmm. As someone working in public relations and media relations, you've been part of shaping how people are perceived. What does it actually mean to build someone's image?
It's sitting down with that person and going, what do you want? And then shaping it from there. It's taking a piece of clay and molding it based on what that person is striving for, what their goals are, so on and so forth. So it's really important to listen and to understand and give my insight as to how I can help them. And if they're not sure, giving them ideas. Fortunately, the majority of people I work with know what they want, and I'm there to help them with it. So that's fun. It's a fun aspect of being a publicist.
Have there been moments when you have had to navigate the tension between what is true and what is being presented?
Yes.
Just yes.
Yes.
Okay. What do you think people do not understand about how much of what they consume is curated?
Oh. That's going to be forever. But then that also leads to conspiracies, and then we just go down the wormhole, and that gets blurry so fast.
What was the oof about, though? Tell us that part.
Just the aspect of, oh my goodness, like, ask that question again.
What do you think people do not understand about how much of what they consume is curated?
What people understand. See, the funny thing about that, and we're getting into like 1984, and we're getting into like,
Are we going to talk about Albertsons and
I mean,
the first time you saw tits in a
I
magazine?
mean, it's just
Is that what we're talking about?
no, we're not going there.
Okay.
I'm thinking much larger scale of like the human understanding of what they're being shown and how it's being curated. It's probably it started with rocks and a wall, you know, the old first humans, and going like, "What's that?"
I thought you meant Hugh Hefner.
No, this is non-sexual. This is all about like a larger scale of just the human brain and each individual, what they see and what it means to them versus what they're being shown and why they're being shown it. Good Lord. Like it's a heavy topic because the answer is unknown. Like a human will never know what is being curated and what is being pure, right? And curated is a shape.
Yeah.
And purity is just the raw essence of what they're being given.
Yeah.
But like, oh, that's not going away.
Okay.
That's forever. That's like beginning of time and long after we're gone.
Okay.
But yes, wait. Yes. I first saw tits at an Albertsons in a magazine when I was like, I don't know, 13 or 14. That was my first sighting. We had talked about this and yes, it's a different time.
It was a different time.
Very
but
different
that was
time.
still curated.
It was a magazine with breasts and the older kid wanting to show young kids, hey, look at this and get our reactions. And our reactions were, I'm 50 years old and I still remember that moment.
I bet you do.
So yeah, shock and awe
Yeah.
would be the reaction.
Yeah.
And yes, very curated.
Because we didn't have accessibility in the
No.
same way that we
We
do
looked at
now.
stuff through scrambles. You don't know until you've watched something through a scramble and try and look for a
Yep.
curve or a whatever.
Something.
They have no idea.
Anything. What makes someone compelling to the public?
Oh, I think it's anything because anyone can be compelling to anyone. You know, anything can be compelling because I don't know what compels you. You don't know what compels me until we talk about it. So I'm big on like anything's possible. You know, there have been like we could sit and talk about TV shows. There's shows that you like that I don't. There's shows I like that you don't. There's topics you care about that I don't, and vice versa. So compelling is that's in the beholder.
But do you ever meet somebody and say, "Oh, they've got it"?
Sometimes, yeah, absolutely. But I'm always, you know, and sometimes I'll meet someone and be like, I don't get it, and they're the biggest thing on earth. So who the hell am I to judge? You know, I'm not here to judge that aspect. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
There are things that have gotten fame that I have no idea why, and there are things that I thought should be so famous and that never hit, especially in music.
Yeah.
So, you know, man, it's my whole thing with compelling is I'm not here to judge that.
What makes someone last versus fade out?
Work ethic, desire, lack of fear, not quitting. You know, you'll go through your ups and downs. You know, if you don't want to do this anymore, whatever it is, then you shouldn't do it.
Right.
But you know, sometimes people get famous and they don't want to be, or not for the reasons that they're famous for. So many things. So it's really the individual and, you know, but I'll always go back to work ethic.
Okay. What role does controversy play in visibility?
It plays a part. It has an aspect. It ignites. The word is controversial in itself, right? It has a sound to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a great title of an album, you know. it rings. So controversy, whatever that is, will always stand out. Where it goes from there, who knows? But it stands out.
Do you think people understand the cost of being visible at that level?
Some do, some don't. And there's levels. So some individuals know what they're doing. Whether it plays out the way they want it to is to be seen. But some do, some don't.
You were an executive producer on Reality X, The Search for Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
I had no idea that. I had to look it up. What did that experience show you about how people perform when they know they are being watched?
We were so early. We produced and shot that in 2005.
You were early.
And we were so early.
Yeah.
And it's a great product that we made, and it's a great series, but we had amazing couples that were fully into it, and we had great judges, and we had characters, and we had it all. It was amazing. And we just, you think about it now, like the advent of all different types of content that people want to watch. We were just early. And so I learned that this was going to be big. And it was. It turned into something that, was way ahead of its time. Way ahead. And, I take that away. But I just learned, like, people, you turn on a camera, people like to perform.
They do.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about...
Nope.
Okay. Didn't even need to ask it. Was it a lot of work?
Oh, just, yeah, at that level, it's different nowadays with OnlyFans and iPhones, but this was a massive production.
Yeah.
So, with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, God bless them for doing that.
I talk about that all the time because I get solicited for people to come on my podcast because they hear it and they don't watch it. And so they don't actually realize that it's live in person. And like with AI now, anyone can host a podcast and just be on, I think it's called Riverside. Yeah. You can be anywhere.
Yeah.
This is getting old school, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
There is. We won't go there. What happens when someone is both the product and the person at the same time?
I think a lot of people are totally good with that. I think they're good in their own skin. Mm-hmm. Some no, but I think for the most part, the thing I stress to people I work with and clients and whatnot is you're a brand. Your name, whoever you are, is a brand. So treat yourself like a brand, and you'll be successful. If you don't do that, you're gonna stumble. But if you realize that your namesake and your identity and what the public views you as a brand, you're gonna look at it through the correct light and the correct lens.
Okay, so you've worked with companies like Vixen Media Group and Penthouse, brands built around desire and image. What have you learned about what people are actually drawn to?
In this day and age, they're drawn to everything. So you can have an idea and whatnot. And I go back to not being the judge. And when my clients create content and I promote it, I get it out there and we find out what the interest is. But the attention to detail is vital with all of my clients in some way, shape, or form. You really want to pay attention to detail. You want to make sure that the final product is exactly how you want it to be and that you stand behind it. And my clients have always been that way. So attention to detail would be my answer.
Okay. Do you think desire is predictable or more complex than that?
Way more complex. Oh, desire is so universal, like a soccer ball. Desire can come from anywhere. It can come from any moment. It can come from anything. I could look at a globe up here and it could spark something. It could remind me of something that does this, then that, and then I desire something. So I mean, it's so complex. I don't think it's simple. There are plenty of things in life that are simple, but I think desire is far more complex than that.
You have also worked with emerging technologies such as AutoBlow AI.
Yeah.
How do you see technology changing how people relate to intimacy or sexuality?
I find that the technology just continues to improve, and
Yeah, we've gone beyond a flashlight.
yeah, and so the reality, like, you really can marvel at some of these technologies and products and go, wow, you know, there's also creativity involved. These aren't just, non-creative products. I've been very fortunate to work with Brian Sloan, who created AutoBlow and the different products that he's put out, and he's successful for a reason. He creates a product that people want. And you got to think of people that maybe aren't as fortunate as us, that maybe need a product, not want, but for whatever scope they are, wherever they are in life, it's a necessity to have something that helps them with whatever their needs are. People want to look at an AutoBlow and be like, oh, that's gross, or this or that. Maybe it's not for you, but maybe it's a necessity for someone who's not as fortunate as you are. And I really stress that to people and try and open people's minds of like, hey, we're not all the same. And some of us are not as fortunate as others. So it's something that you need to really think about when you look at products that are there to help people in their desires, so to speak.
Well, I mean, the same argument can go to, I go to a fairly woke liberal master's program here in Portland, Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
It's known for that. Liberal arts school, and they're so against AI. And I see your head shaking. They're so against AI, and they, it's a phenomena within the program to talk about how ChatGPT is going to take over our jobs as licensed clinicians because, everyone's got an AI companion now in Gen Z, and it's not really giving you accurate feedback because it's, essentially just complimenting you and telling you what you want to hear. So
here's my response to anything like this.
But also, my take on that is like, I think about the people who can't afford therapy.
Yeah.
I think about like somebody who lives all by themselves, doesn't have family, and needs some feedback to help them process something.
Yeah.
And I think it's helping that person.
Yeah.
Even if they're not going to it for regular therapy, right? Yeah. So it's all in how you use it.
Let me oversimplify.
Okay, oversimplify it for us, Brian.
Adjust or die. That has been a motto of mine ever since I could remember.
Okay.
You look at something and you can embrace it. Mm-hmm. You can be afraid of it. You can loathe it, blah, blah, blah. Or you can adjust. And I'm an adjust person. I'm a person that looks at something and goes, we're all staring AI straight in the face.
Yeah, we are.
You're going to yell at AI? Bad AI? Shame on you? Blah, blah, blah. How's that going to work out? How's that going to go for you? Or are you going to adjust? Are you going to use some AI? Are you not going to use aspects of it? Are you going to look at certain parts of it and figure out what it can do for you? Yeah. Are you going to look at all the platforms and go, these platforms, so on and so forth? We've got, the smartest humans in the world right now on this level doing what they're doing and so on. I'm not one of them. I have my little PR firm and I do my job and I've got to figure out what I can do for my clients. That goes to my other motto, which is do your job. So you adjust to what's being thrown at you, but you still do your job. And if you do your job well, then you shouldn't be afraid of AI. And if AI is going to take your job or if AI is going to affect you, well, you're either going to sit in a corner and cry or you're going to adjust who you are to then figure out where your place in this world is to then put a roof over your head and put food on your table. You're going to adjust. And if I'm never going to pretty much change that mindset because it's how I've gotten here, 36 years later after starting as an intern. You adjust to what happens. I saw Napster and I said, I'm going to adjust, and an opportunity came. I saw piracy in the late 2000s in the adult industry, and I adjusted to what that is. AI's here and I'm having to adjust. We all have to adjust. I'm not going to get into the political, liberal, conservative, woke, otherwise aspect because to me it's nil. The argument's nil.
Yeah.
The argument is simple. How are you going to adjust? Because it's coming.
Yeah.
You're not stopping it.
You're not stopping.
So what are you going to do about it? How are you going to adjust to what it does? So
Spoken like a true Gen Xer.
that's how we were raised.
I know.
We were raised in the back of not even minivans, in the back of
Station wagons.
Station wagons. We inhaled our father's cigarette smoke, and we ran around the yard with nothing, and
No
we stayed out.
seatbelts.
We had seatbelts. I wore a seatbelt. I was pretty good. I was good about
No,
the
we
seatbelt.
didn't have a seatbelt.
Well, not in the back of the no,
we
that's
didn't
true.
have seatbelts.
But we're like at the cusp of the end. Someone woke up and said like, maybe that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Let's go to the minivan. So we're like, then we get into the minivan. So we had like a little ounce.
We never
of that.
had a minivan.
But yeah, the things, those memes are amazing. Like we were raised on. This is how we were raised, and
Totally. Drank out of the hose.
yeah, the whole night.
Yep.
Out till sunset.
Yeah.
So
Those days are gone. We didn't even have any idea how
they
good we
can
had
come
it.
back. I'm gonna have faith. I'm gonna have faith that being outside
Is going to come back.
and doing things.
I agree.
I was just in Sydney, beautiful city, and the one thing I saw more than anything else in Sydney was beautiful people running. Lots of runners in Sydney. They are out running. So if in Sydney they can just run around, and Sydney's so gorgeous anyway, but I have some faith.
Yeah, we need more safety here in the U.S. before we let our kids just run.
I wish we could just do that.
Yeah.
It's a shame we have to, because if you think about it, we didn't have much safety, and we turned out we didn't.
had more safety in some ways and less in others.
So
Okay. When you zoom out and look at your entire career, what patterns stand out to you about people?
The strongest truly survive, and good people win. And man, if you just, I just think of all the people that are no longer with me, because when you're a publicist, you go through a lot of death. And I just think of a lot of these people, and, anyone that I've known that's dead is gone too soon, right? For what it's worth.
Especially in your industry.
Yeah.
Especially in the music industry.
But in my life, period.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to think, like, zooming out, the people that have lived out their lives have lived it to its fullest possibility, and I think most of the people in my life have. And like I said, the ones taken too soon, that still hurts. I still think about a lot of people.
I bet you do.
So yeah, that thought conjures in that question.
What do you feel like you understand about human behavior now that you did not before?
Absolutely nothing. Human behavior.
You sound like me.
A wonderful Bjork song.
I love that song.
I'm just going to leave it at
I
that.
love that entire album.
She's incredible. And I got to work with her and see her live
Did
for
you?
free and party with her one night.
Oh, fuck no, you
and
didn't.
She's incredible and an unbelievable artist.
She's one of my favorites.
Wild.
She is wild.
And
That's
she
why
had
I
a
like her.
costume party that she came in she had like a chicken or an egg thing. She was in full costume, and we were working, but it was like, shit, maybe we should have been. So I'm just going to fly right by your question and just talk about Bjork, because
Okay.
human behavior, I don't know, you say that and that song comes to my mind. And if you're listening and you just go to your whatever you listen to music on, and put on Human Behavior by Bjork. It'll all make sense what I'm
It's a
saying.
great song. God, that was a good year.
Hmm.
Okay. What has surprised you the most over time?
I mean, what has surprised me? Both. How unbelievable humans are in both ways. How unbelievably smart and how unbelievably stupid humans can be.
Okay.
Because it's really as unbelievable as it is this way, it can be unbelievable that way.
That's true wisdom right there.
I'm trying.
I'm just laughing because you've come to some of the same conclusions that I have. And I think it has to do with this age, too.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
What we've seen, how long we've been,
Yeah.
the decades we've lived through,
Yeah.
where we're at.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The older I get, the more I realize I know shit. When I was in 20s, I thought I knew everything, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My 20s were rad. I just ran.
I bet your
rimshot.
20s were rad.
Yeah, and
I
it's
wish I would've-
literally started when I was 18.
I wish I would have known you in your 20s.
It would have been fun.
Yeah,
We
it would have
had
been fun.
I would have done something stupid though. I can promise you that. Not saying I don't still, but definitely.
I think
would
we
have done
met
something.
when I was in my 30s.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, 2010 was I always say like a year, and oh, that was interesting, and then why it was, but
How old are you?
that was we were still full throttle in the
You're
economic.
75?
Yeah, I'm 75, literally right there.
Aww.
Yeah, so 2010 economic
35?
downturn. Yeah, 35 September. Yeah, 35.
Okay. Yeah, it's 37.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah.
It feels like it was just yesterday. Has being in this world changed how you trust people or how you relate to them?
Which world?
The adult,
Like the world or the adult industry?
the adult industry.
Oh, the adult industry hasn't affected my trust or my feelings on humans. It really hasn't.
How about the rest of the world?
The world has, absolutely. The world's a different story.
Yeah.
I mean, our trust comes from something, or our lack of trust comes from something broken down at a younger age that often calluses and builds over time, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
I'll put it to you this way. I started in the music industry at 17, and I've been in entertainment since then. So my trust issues are pretty magnified,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Is there anything you had to unlearn about people along the way?
Probably, and the beauty of getting older is I've forgotten. There's a beauty.
Have you really forgotten that
There's
much?
such a beauty to getting older and forgetting things sometimes. I think it's really actually underestimated, where it's just like, yeah, you think about someone you might have a falling out with, and I'm a grudge holder. I'm not going to deny that. But sometimes you're like, oh, yeah, I forgot that. Probably a good reason why I forgot that. And it feels good to have just let that go on, let it go, whatever it is. So, yeah, I think that's my response to that.
Okay. When your work is built around image, access, and desire, how do you stay connected to who you actually are?
Your people, your circle. You're only as strong as the circle of people you keep. So the people around you ground you, say no to you, put you in your place. We've seen people that have issues in success or that what have you, and there's some obvious cases. What's common is that the strength of the people around them, they weaken it by bringing in yes people. And yes people don't say no.
Mm-hmm.
And so they aren't being pushed or tested, and all of a sudden they're
Held accountable.
Yeah, and so you're as strong as the people around you.
Have you ever felt like you were playing a role versus being yourself?
Yeah, definitely. But it's fun. It's fun. Sometimes you play roles and okay, so on a total funny story part.
Yes. Share something.
Me and a friend and another person were at a music festival.
Which music festival?
It was like a really small festival. It was out in Devore. And
Where's Devore?
in San Bernardino.
Okay.
and we somehow convinced there was like a Levi's boot. There was like Levi's was a sponsor, and I think they were giving out jeans. And we put like a hat and glasses on me, and we convinced the person I was the bass player in Weezer. And I got a bunch of pairs of jeans for free, and then we left. So that's playing a role, right?
Free jeans.
And I got to.
I mean, the closest I can
Be
get
the
to that
base-
is I work down the street from Levi's in San Francisco.
So there, see, 6-1. But yeah, no, role play. I mean, come on, role playing's fun.
It is.
It's fun.
It is. You could say the adult industry is a lot about role playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think also
It can be
most
real.
industries have role playing.
Sure. Okay. Do you feel like people see you or who you represent?
Both. People see me. Oh, there's certainly plenty of people that look at me as, that guy who went into the adult industry. Everyone knows someone that worked or works in the adult industry. That's what I like to say.
At least
So
in
if you
LA.
know me, I'm that guy, right? I'm the guy who works in the adult industry. So that I'm seen as said person, right?
Yes.
I'm fine with that. It's perception versus reality. There are people that know me for me. There are people that know me for whatever it is. I'll never discourage whatever those thoughts are.
Is there a difference between attention and connection in the adult industry world?
Yeah, there's a difference. Let's just put it in simplest forms, like the people that just want attention. We know what those type of people are. People that look to connect and further things and build more, we know who those people are too. So you can tell a person that seeks attention. But again, this is not just the adult world.
I know.
It's not. It's no different.
You just know so much about it that
I do. And there's that. There's absolutely that. But the common thread is that you can recognize a person seeking attention versus a person seeking connection.
Yeah. Have your boundaries changed over time?
Yes. And I am so late to the boundary game, it's not even funny. But I'm getting better.
Hey, that's what it's about. It's not about
But good Lord,
perfection.
I didn't know boundaries for much of my youth.
Me neither. I'm not sure. Yeah.
I've
I don't know if
gotten-
that was a Gen X thing or how we were raised, but it's definitely how you and I were
we
raised.
weren't told about boundaries.
We didn't even know there was such thing as boundaries.
Someone invented boundaries and we were late.
Yeah.
And it's not fair.
Yeah,
I
it
hate
is.
I hate saying not fair. But it's very funny because
It was not fair.
I have started using boundaries in my personal life and I'm very proud of myself.
I'm proud of you too.
Thank you. Those stories will be off camera.
Yes, of course. Of course they will. You have spent a long time in and around the adult industry. How has your personal relationship to porn changed over the years?
I was attracted to certain adult film stars and
Like who?
certain, oh my gosh, like Tiffany Million and Ashlyn Gear. And like, I'm old school, right? Like a long time ago. Nina Hartley.
Oh, Nina
you know.
Hartley.
And I got to, she's been a client
Forgot
of
about
mine.
her.
And I love her and she's a sweet human being. But, when the adult industry started, it was certain performers and certain looks and so on, certain
Yes,
aesthetics.
certain looks.
And now you can think something and you can find it. AI is changing that to a whole other spectrum.
I bet.
But like, you kind of figure out your attractions. You're like, well, maybe as much as I was attracted to that before, I'm really attracted to this. And this is interesting. So, there's discovery in your own personal attractions and desires as the industry has sort of grown out. And said performers who are famous now might not have been famous in the old model.
Mm-hmm.
And certain performers in the old model wouldn't be famous
Now.
now.
Mm-hmm.
So there's been an expansion and people have their opinions about that and God bless them. But for me personally, it's just been, you can wake up and be like, I want to watch this. Okay. And in most part it might exist. Before it didn't, you know? So I think there's been, as there's been more acceptance of the adult industry and of adult product and of sexuality in a form that is being consumed on a larger scope, it gives you opportunity to sort of find yourself.
What do you think porn actually is beyond how people define it?
I mean, it's a graphy. So pornography is the film of sex on film. So, I've always been a simplist when it comes to this. Like, it is what it is. It is sex on film. If it's not your thing, please don't watch it. If it's your thing, please enjoy. There's horror film. If you don't like horror film, please don't watch it. If you like horror film, please enjoy.
Do you like horror film?
No, I'm not a horror guy.
Me neither.
I've never been. I'm a good rom-com, and I love a good Jack Nicholson movie.
Oh God.
So it's like it's a type of film, and sorry to those that might be offended by that statement, but in its basic form, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So if it's not your cup of tea, don't watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But don't take away my ability to watch it. I just don't think that's right.
What do you think people are really looking for when they watch porn?
No, that's too broad. I think people's desire, people's interests, there, and I, as a witness to people that I've met over the years, it's all over the place. It's everything. It's whatever it is. So,
You don't try to understand.
no, absolutely not. I don't want to.
Do you think it's about sex or something underneath that?
Both, all. It can be just as simple as getting off and enjoying the actual penetration. It could be something deeper. It can be whatever it is to said person. So, I'm not here to try and understand that whatsoever.
Have you seen ways that porn impacts how people relate to intimacy or connection in real life?
I haven't, but that's just me. I'm in my world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the world of doing, I go back to the doing my job thing.
Mm-hmm.
My job is my clients. My job is my work. My job is my, is focused. It's very focused. So my study of said things, it's just not what I do.
Yeah.
So it's not saying it's not of interest, but
You don't
I'll
think
read
about it that way.
I'll read the articles like everyone else does. Absolutely. And I love the journalists who dig deep in these topics. I appreciate them, very much so.
Do you think the way people consume sexualized content online is changing how they relate to real people, especially in terms of empathy or attachment or satisfaction in their relationships?
They might. Certainly, there might be an aspect of that, but I also think that we have so many other things, doom scrolling, algorithms, and everything else that are, affecting the common people and how they relate to other people. So I think, frankly, pornography is a small part of that, a very small part of that.
We were talking about this a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
When we were not recording. So there is an idea right now that people want the benefits of a committed relationship while still engaging with a kind of digital harem in their pocket.
Yeah.
Do you think that kind of constant access to others' bodies and options is impacting men's capacity for real intimacy?
I think the world we live in of distraction has had a major impact.
Swiping right, swiping left.
But beyond that, I think just distractions. I go back to the algorithm and the doom scrolling and just
Having a phone in your hand in general.
just being overwhelmed with material. Forget sexual material.
But it's so accessible.
Everything is.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
So you
What-
can't blame porn.
I'm not. No, I'm not going to. And you know, you're not going to get me to do that. But
No,
but
I'm saying, yeah.
I don't blame one thing. Oh, it's adult films the problem. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There's a lot of problems if you want to look at it that way. But I'm also a big fan of please go outside. Go outside and, you know, for lack of a better term,
Smell some trees.
hug a tree. You know what I mean? Like get one with nature. You know.
You sound so LA right now when you say
I
that.
do, and that's okay. I'm born and raised. I'll take it. But good God, like you know, if you're dead set, whoever you are, said people are dead set on blaming, you know, using the adult industry as sort of the scapegoat or black sheep, that person's always going to act that way, right? They're always going to blame the industry. It's the industry's fault. It's the adult industry. They're the devil and blah blah blah. No, no, I'm not going to agree to that or with that or any aspect. My clients and the companies and the people that I've worked with have constantly created a product, take it or leave it if you want it or not. The ability to access, sure, that has changed, but the ability to access everything
has changed.
We can literally sit on our ass and have everything delivered to us. Wall-E, a wonderful Disney movie with a horribly sad beginning, is real. We're this close to living on spaceships and having everything piped into us. And that's from a Disney movie, okay? Literally, Disney has told us the future. And I'm a Black Hole fan, and that movie is insane. So like being raised on Disney and Disney films and Pixar and blah, 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 we're being fed everything. You don't have to leave for anything. But for some reason, we want to take it out on sex, sexuality, and adult film and say that's the root, that's the cause. It's not. I mean, at our basic form, we're created to procreate, right? So it's like that's just what we do on a natural basis as far as being a living species, right?
Yeah.
That's what we do. So, okay, there's your basis of like at the core being sexuality. So just eliminate everything, sports, music, entertainment, and just procreate. Like it's not, you know, and then and procreate and then pass, right? And then die. Like we're humans. We're not built that to function that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always just of the defender of, hey, we have severe issues and we have challenges and we have things we have to look at, but the industry creates a product, take it or leave it. And it's up to you whether you want to or not. No one forces you or anything. The access, I get it. It's there. It's easier. I understand. And certainly there are ways and means to deal with that. But ultimately, it's the person. You know, we've now taken gambling to another level in this country, and that's only going to continue to grow, you know. So, you know, and as someone who had a gambling problem, point blank, many years ago.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. I was betting sports every day. And then I stopped. I stopped cold turkey. I was just like, that's enough. That's enough. You know, and I'll still place a bet every now and then and watch a big game and do something. But, you know, I love sports and I understand it. But now gambling's in our faces, you know, the FanDuels and the DraftKings and the, you know, everything that exists, it's right there and it's accessible like everything else. So everything is accessible.
Yeah.
It's up to said human on how they handle that. We're Gen X. We grew up without that. So we know that time.
Yep.
The challenge is now is that younger generations only know a time of being fully immersed and online. And this is where we're having the challenges and the discussions and the anxieties and everything else, the mental issues that exist.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit here and point one over the other. Like, these are all happening. How do you handle them?
Couldn't have articulated it better myself. Thank you, Brian. Okay. I got you fired up on that one. I think you've answered that. Let's see. Would you say porn is less about morality and more about the capacity to focus, attach, stay disciplined, and invest in one person?
No, I don't. No. I don't even know how to give an elongated answer on that, but I'm still going to go to, whether it's scripted or unscripted, whether it's two people, solo, a group, whatever it is, it's about creating something that is desired by an audience. So I'm going to give the simple answer to that all the time. That might save you from a few of those questions.
Oh, yeah, of course. You have been around both the business and the people behind it.
Yeah.
What do you wish people understood about the humans in that industry?
Just hardworking individuals, really hardworking individuals, all of them. There's no time for anything less.
Has there ever been a tension for you being in that world?
Attention?
Not attention, any tension.
With like people in like my personal life or like,
Yeah.
oh, absolutely. I've had debates, discussions. People have, their issues with the adult industry. So I had mentioned something offline about a discussion with someone's family, and they didn't like what I did for a living, and I had to defend myself. So yeah, there's been tension. It's not as much as it used to be.
Yeah.
People are more open-minded.
Yes.
Yeah.
That has changed.
That has definitely changed.
Okay. You have spent time in environments where women's bodies are central to the product.
Yeah.
Do you see a difference between being desired and being objectified?
I think it's blurry. I think the objectification comes to the person if they're feeling it and they have the will and the strength to speak up. Because you're taking someone's body, and if it's being objectified, then does that person have the ability to stand up for themselves? So it exists.
Do you think some women feel empowered while others feel reduced, or is it more complex than that?
It's more complex, but the women that I work with and the women that I've worked with over the years have all been empowered, almost all, and made this choice. You're not hiring me if you're coming in this half-assed. You've made a decision, because I'm the last hiring. Let's say you've got a business partner, an agent, a manager, your artistic needs, your makeup and hair person. You come with
that already.
And then you bring someone like me in last to then promote you. So by the time you get to me, you better have your shit together and you better feel empowered. Yeah. You better be empowered. I don't really work with people who don't feel empowered. It doesn't make sense. You've come this far. You're empowered.
Checking the time. Do you think people consuming porn are relating to the person on the screen, or does it create detachment, especially now with AI?
I don't know. I don't know how people consume in so many different ways and for whatever reasons. Mm. And the AI thing, we're still in it's such an infancy. It's really hard to say. But, I mean, people consume. You come to the expo, you've been. You see all kinds of people and who they're there for. If they're there for the product, if they're there for the person. It's so dependent on the person.
When you look at what is happening culturally right now, especially online with platforms like OnlyFans and AI influencer culture, do you think objectification is increasing or just becoming more visible?
Boy, I don't know. And I say that in the aspect of it would be really hard for me to sort of have that information. Like that's someone with a degree and a doctorate that can answer that question. That has studied, that would know far better than I would. And I hope that person comes on and speaks to this, because I am not going to.
If you know them, let me know.
Yeah.
Okay. If someone listening is trying to understand their relationship to being seen, desired, or objectified, what would you want them to consider?
Understand that the person at the other end is in most cases not doing this with a purpose. That there's a reason and a purpose for whatever it is that you're seeing them for. It's not 100%. There's some people you go, uh-oh, this person should probably not be in that position. But more than not, it's someone with power, with desire, with passion, with love, with interest, with curiosity, with goals that are performing in some way, shape, or form.
What has this work done for you over time?
It's just a love. I love what I do. I love being a publicist. It's something that literally happened from a phone call, you know? So once it happened, I was just off and running. And I love my work, and I'm very fortunate. Not a lot of people love their work. And I feel for those people. So I'm an anomaly in that regard.
What has changed in how you see yourself?
You know, over time, you now have more time in the rear view than through the window. So you get to just spend time and have these conversations and look back and do a lot of nostalgia. And that's fun because I think in the time when you're running through your 20s and your 30s and your 40s, you're really running, you know? So as you do get older, it's only natural to go, whoa, okay, what have I done? What have I accomplished? Where am I at? What have I seen? What have I experienced? And you're just sort of, yeah, for me, I just sort of marvel, you know, and I'm a big, I'm a big house money guy, meaning.
What do you mean?
Meaning I've won. Life has been amazing. I've done some incredible things. I've seen some, so whatever I do now, I'm playing with house money. I'm playing with the money that I've already won.
Like in gambling at a
it's
casino.
a gambling thing, yeah. So like the rest of my life is house money. It eliminates a lot of strife, to me at least, to go like, holy shit, you know, let's say I've got a solid 20, right? I'm 50. Let's say I can get to a solid 30, but I've already done 50. And look what I've done in those 50. This is pretty cool. A lot of people freak out at my age. A lot of people, oh my God, I haven't done. No, I've done plenty. I've seen plenty. And I will continue to do and see. But like what I've accomplished and what I've experienced from here on out, house money. Can't wait.
What feels clearer now?
Just that nostalgia, just sort of like that looking back and relishing and enjoying things. And
do you enjoy things more now?
Probably. I would hope so. That's always a challenge because I'm a work first guy. So like I'm still putting my head in the trench and pounding the pavement and all that stuff. I still love that. So the clearer aspect is I know that the relationships I have now, we're going into the sunset, you know, the friendships that I have now, the family that I have now of the people around me, and we're riding this thing out, and that feels good. And maybe some people will come in and I'll lose some people, obviously, but, you know, for the most part, it feels good.
What feels more important than it used to?
I think it's that cliche of savoring every day. That definitely does. You don't think about it in your 20s.
No way.
So there's.
You think you're gonna live forever?
Yeah, or you're just and
your
going.
Parents seem so old.
Yeah.
And then we get here and we're like,
yeah.
But are we really?
Yeah, crazy, right?
Yeah.
No, all the cliche stuff. So all that, you know, savor of the grateful, the appreciation. You know, it's cliche, but it holds truth.
What actually matters to you at this point in your life?
For me, it's staying physically and mentally as sharp as I can. You know, I make the joke about forgetting things, but I try and have as much mental clarity. The challenges of getting older, you know, things hurting that didn't hurt before, you know. So just those challenges that exist as a human.
Let's see. What does real connection look like to you now?
It's those people that it's ease, it's comfortability, it's pushing each other, but it's also care and love and just those connections that, you know, hold meaning, hold something, and, look, we go back 16 years.
It's so crazy to me.
And it right. And like, here we are, right? And there's been periods we didn't talk for years. And now we're sitting here. So it's like people come and go. People always come and go. So I think there's an excitement to that because sometimes someone comes back into your life that you didn't expect. Mm-hmm. And you're like, holy shit, where you been? What's going on?
Yeah. What would you want your life to stand for at this point?
Someone who works hard. I'm a big old school. He worked hard. He had fun. He has stories.
You do. You have so many stories.
So, I mean, there's the old founder of 60 Minutes, whose basis of the show was, let me tell you a story. And that's sort of the
I remember that.
consent. That's how 60 Minutes sort of began and what that was about. And so I love to tell a story. I love remembering something. I love listening to stories too. But I'm big on working hard. I think nothing usually goes wrong when you work hard. Things can go, there are challenges within the work. That's different. But when you put your head down, whatever it is, and I'll leave you with this note. The one thing that we're lacking that I hope we get back, and I will believe we will, but at this point, in this period of humanity, in this period of being an American, whatever it is, a sense of pride. I'm very proud of my work. I'm very proud of where I'm at, what I do, blah, blah, blah. And not a lot of people have it, and a lot of people have lost pride. And we've seen that. And so I'm a believer that there are people with pride, but we're going to have more of it at some point. Might not be now. It might not be tomorrow. But pride is vital. Because when you do something, excuse me, when you go to your Jamba Juice and you order, and the person back there, you can tell the person that's just there for the
paycheck.
They just needed a job. And you can tell the person that cares. And I'll feel for the person that is just there for the check, but I'll appreciate the person that cares. That's where pride is. If I'm a dishwasher in Havana at like 75, maybe not being paid, I'll be the proudest dishwasher you'll ever meet. Because whatever it is I do, I'll always want to do with pride. And that's my thing.
I feel like I need to grab your coffee.
Probably. Or you've just talked my voice right out. Right out. My voice literally might have just quit on us.
Well, I really appreciate you
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I really, really appreciate what you shared. And I know I asked some challenging questions.
Loved them all.
And I really appreciate your honesty, too. And just your personal experience. There's something to be said about the way that you can demystify or even break down things that it's simplify. You use that word a lot.
Big fan.
Simplify what people misunderstand or misinterpret. And that was the point. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.